All right, yesterday Zack Snyder released the chapter times, 6 chapter times for his 4 hours and change Snyder Cut that's coming later this month, March 18th. Let's go over each one of these chapter titles and think about what they might mean. The first one, part one, is Don't Count on It, Batman. And I assume at the beginning of the movie, the 4 hour epic, Batman is trying to assemble the Justice League, the world's heroes that he knows or has relationships with or knows of, and it's not going that well. Or, some of them are like, I don't know, because we saw a little bit of this in Justice League. He didn't have the easiest time getting them together. So I'm thinking that's probably something that's going to continue here in the Snyder Cut. And also, Superman's still supposed to be, I think, assume is dead at the beginning of the Snyder Cut, just like he was at the beginning of Justice League. And if you remember in Justice League, Superman's death had caused like a vacuum in the world and like a loss of morality because people loved Superman. He wasn't around. So I think that might play into it. I think the world and a lot of people are depressed. There's a lot of crime. And he's having a hard time getting these demoralized heroes together for, this incoming threat that he knows is coming because of, clues that were dropped in BVS about Darkseid and the New Gods. That is my guess about what Don't Count on It, Batman means. The next one is The Age of Heroes. I assume something happens to make more of these heroes start to join them. Maybe there have been some crises around the world and like people like Wonder Woman and Aquaman can see there's some problems. Maybe we need to get back together with Batman, right? They're starting to come around. And also maybe Superman starts to come back, right? Superman is supposed to be key to like a symbol of hope and motivating heroes, at least morally and that sort of thing. So maybe, this is more of like a Superman comes back chapter or two, or as part of this. Or maybe it's just, the other heroes that are not Superman deciding to come back together to join Batman. Part 3, Beloved Mother, Beloved Son. I think this... Well, a lot of DC heroes in the DCEU, they've got, some interesting things going on with their mothers. But this might also be this is supposed to be Cyborg's origin story. So maybe this has to do with, him and his deceased mother, because his mother is dead in the DCEU. She's dead in the comics, too. That's a part of his origin, at least in the Teen Titans origin. So maybe this has something to do with his relationship with his deceased mother he loved. But other members of the Justice League have stuff going on with their mothers too. Wonder Woman and her mother, Hippolyta, have a good relationship. But she's not a son, she's a daughter. Batman and Superman had some stuff going on with their mothers who were both named Martha in BVS. So maybe this means this title is applicable to multiple heroes. Aquaman and his mother, Atlanta, her absence was a big part of his life. Barry Allen, the Flash, has got some weird stuff going on with his mother. She's dead, right? And her death is a big part of what... Her death and his father's wrongful incarceration are a big reason why he becomes the Flash. So this could mean multiple people. But I wouldn't be surprised if it has a lot to do with Cyborg. Because he's supposed to be very prominent in this film. Change Machine. Maybe this is about Cyborg, because he's man-machine. Maybe he's being changed. Something is altering him. This could be a huge Cyborg-heavy chapter. But maybe it could also mean Change Machine with, something with the mother boxes, right? Because Darkseid and Steppenwolf want the mother boxes. So maybe they're starting to activate or work together, or someone's using something with them. Doing something with them, too. So maybe that's a part of what Change Machine means. Maybe it's Cyborg or the mother boxes or both. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty Dumpty back together again, right? So let's say that all the king's horses are the members of the Justice League, the heroes. Maybe they're trying to stop Darkseid or Steppenwolf or put something back together again, or solve some kind of crisis, or stop a crisis, some kind of attack. And maybe they're having a tough time. Maybe Darkseid and Steppenwolf and his forces are too much for them. because that all the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty Dumpty back together again. That phrase means that all the king's men, they failed, right? They tried, but they didn't succeed. So maybe in the movie, you know, at this chapter, if all the king's horses and all the king's men are the members of the Justice League, they're failing to put Humpty Dumpty back together again. They're failing to stop Darkseid. They're failing to stop him from doing something. Maybe. Part 6, something darker. This has got to, since this is the last chapter in the movie, this has got to be like a final confrontation. This is where we see, I guess, how dark and evil Darkseid, Steppenwolf, Desaad, and all of them are. Or maybe they unleash, you know, some final huge monster or something. At the end of BVS, Doomsday was the final beast, and he was kind of sort of a surprise, even though that surprise was spoiled in the trailers when they basically showed Doomsday. In the movie plot, if you had just watched BVS and didn't watch any of the trailers and stuff, Doomsday would have been, I think, kind of a surprise. You wouldn't know he was in there until you started watching the movie and getting closer to the end. So maybe, you know, something darker is Darkseid or whatever, some previously unseen aspect of his plan that, you know, he surprises the heroes with. Or maybe Darkseid himself doesn't really fight the heroes until the end of the movie. And, you know, for the rest of it, they had been dealing with Steppenwolf and Parademons. And then here comes Darkseid. They have to confront him together for the first time. And maybe he is darker and more formidable than they were expecting. Zack Snyder has said that this movie is supposed to end on a huge cliffhanger. So maybe that cliffhanger is, you know, I'm Darkseid. Maybe the end of the movie is Darkseid beating them up. Maybe he wins. And that's the cliffhanger. Will they be able to defeat Darkseid in Justice League 2 or 3? Movies that Warner Brothers doesn't want to make? Movies, you know, that if this does end on a huge cliffhanger that's that big, that all the Snyder Cut fans will be campaigning really hard for, to force Warner Brothers to make, we will find out. But I don't know, that's what I think these chapter times might mean. Of course, I don't know what they mean because I haven't seen the movie yet. It's up to us to guess. And I'm sure, you know, they leak these to get that. They want to get people talking. We're in the promotional era, right? Promotional phase, right? They're building up hype, suspense for the Snyder Cut's release. And releasing cryptic chapter titles is part of that plan. So what do you think? Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like it on YouTube and subscribe to the channel because I appreciate your viewership, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.